What's happening, y'all? Welcome back to another live show. I am Big Fella Outdoors, aka Antoine. As you can see, I'm sitting inside the house today. It's been raining for the past couple of days, so everything on the outdoor studio is soaking wet. So I went ahead and set up inside because I wanted to talk about this topic tonight. But we're just going to let a few more people join, and we'll go ahead and get started. Um, Happy Friday. As you can see, again, I'm inside, so I won't be smoking a cigar tonight. And I'm just drinking water. So, nothing fun there as well. But I will cheers you guys on the start of a brand new weekend. So, cheers to that. We made it to Friday. Got some pretty exciting stuff going on this weekend. With the celebration of little fella's 11th birthday, we're actually having a Nerf war in our, I can't even say backyard because we're going to encase the front yard too. We're going to play some Capture the Flag with some Nerf guns, and we are going to have a little cookout and a bonfire. So we're super duper excited about it all. Can't wait. I don't know if I got the Facebook thing fixed. I saw that I was reading up on it. It was saying that since it's a Facebook profile, not like a business page, I can't really like comments won't pop up from there, but it will from my Big Fella Outdoors page, which I haven't been live on that in a long time. So I went ahead live on there, and I didn't do the Simple Life of Big Fella. Um, since that channel's still growing, I'll probably go live on that later on in its career. So it feels so different doing this inside because I'm so used to doing it outside. It just feels weird. I don't know why. I feel like I need to be a little bit quieter because there's other people in the house and I don't want to disturb them. My allergies have been killing me today. I thought everything would have been good with it raining and stuff like that, but I'm like all kinds of stopped up. It's crazy. What's going on, Nick? How you doing? Thanks for joining the live. They're just waiting on a few more people to join, and we'll start talking about the topic of the night of death of private fishing holes. I've been thinking about this ever since my favorite fishing hole got closed down. Hey, Mike, how's it going? Unfortunately, Facebook still isn't allowing me to um, post comments from my personal profile. I'm not sure if I'll be able to get it fixed or not, but we'll just have to wait and see. I think both of you guys were on here on the last live, but for those of you that are going to watch this after the fact, last weekend I found out that a fishing hole that I fished for, I'll be 40 this year, so probably like 30 years of my life ever since I've been fishing. Um, it essentially closed down. The owner got tired of people trespassing, and then the last person that they didn't get caught, but he found evidence of them tearing up his field with 4-wheelers, and then they also chased his cows and stuff. So he nixed it for good. It was a nice size, like pond, lake, or whatever you want to call it. It was about 120 acres, and he won't give nobody access to it anymore. So that place is gonna like I can't say it's gonna go downhill because like it'll be really good fishing there in like 5 years or so with nobody touching it. But I feel like a lot of these places, I'm sure you guys can attest to it that you had places that you used to fish like years ago that you no longer can fish and lost it for one reason or another. Um, I know like fishing, like switching over to hunting. I've when I was in the hunting club, we were losing lands and places that we can hunt left and right to the point where we ended up disbanding our hunting club because we only had a few parcels to hunt. Um, but it's just it's starting to, I feel like it's becoming a little more common to where uh, all these like private fishing holes are just like going by the wayside, and everybody's like keeping it to themselves and not letting people come. Sorry, there's a glistening gray hair right here that keeps catching my eye. They're not letting people come and fish on their property no more. Which I guess if somebody was tearing my stuff up, I wouldn't let them come over anymore. And they said somebody always doing too much. Yeah. So I've been contemplating all week because that fishing hole is just too good. I think that's where I first took little fella crappie fishing, or fishing in general, all off my boat, and he absolutely fell in love with it. And I took my oldest son there as well. Took my wife out there, a bunch of friends. There was this one time I took a first time fisherman, one of my friends, Ibrahim. Took him out there and helped him catch some fish, and he fell in love with it. So the place holds a lot of memories, and I've been contemplating, like getting a group of people that have fished it, because there are two ways you got access to the pond. The guy owned a hardware store, and you go up there, you can pay your $10 because you had to pay to get in as well. And then they would write you a little pass or whatever, and you just go down and they give you the code to the gate, and then you could go on and go fish. But some of those that have been like fishing it for years and years, like me, knew that there was an honor system pole, and they literally had like this box on a pole at a house on his property, that you could like write your license plate number, the date, and slip your $10 in there and throw it in the box. And the code was written down somewhere, and you could just go back there and go fish that way. But excuse me. I know he. I think I drove by there today, and I think the box is still up. So I want to recommend like maybe like the people that have fished it, like write some like notes with like thanks for letting us fish it. Sorry that it had to come down to this. Like write nice stuff and like maybe write down a memory or two and drop it in the box and see if he checks it and see if he opens it back up. But I'm also at the point now because I don't think he has any like anybody be able to watch the property. I'm almost at the point now where seeing if a bunch of us can get together and maybe buy like chip in about a bunch of trail cams and stuff, and helping him put them up there so like he can catch these people that are trespassing, and keep an eye on things and whatnot, and also help him around his farm and see if he'll let us fish it, because when I tell you that place is a really really nice place to fish. I loved fishing it. It was one of my go-tos, and it was like 15 minutes from my house, so it just sucked that we lost a fishing hole like that. And I'm sure a bunch of you have lost fishing holes like that as well. I know back in the day, like my dad had so many like fishing spots. Like he was a river fisherman, so his main thing was going up to people like that lived on the river, just knock on the door, like, excuse me, like me and my kids here, we're trying to catch a couple fish, and you mind if we fish behind your house, on your property, fish off the river. And they would like 9.5 times out of 10 be like, yeah, sure, if you catch a bunch of them, just give me some, and I'd have some for dinner. And we would just go back there and fish and catch our heart's content. Um, take them some up there to the owner, let them pick whichever ones they wanted, and we would go on about our business. But um, there was a couple spots like that where like it got to the point where like we didn't have to ask, but I'm not sure if other people found out that that's where we were fishing, so they would go down there too, but they would leave trash and stuff strewn all over the place. and the owner got tired of going down in there cleaning it up, so they nixed it all together. I know there's also times where spots like that will change hands. Like somebody else will buy the property, or it gets handed down to another family member, and they just nix it immediately, not thinking about like all the memories and stuff that other people have created there, stuff like that. But it just hurts my heart to lose a fishing hole of that caliber. I've lost fishing holes before, but nothing like this. See, new comments. But we'll keep trucking on. I got public fishing holes that I can fish. It's just there's something about those private holes where not a whole lot of people know about. Um or they don't have access to it, like something like that. But it'll definitely be missed, that's for sure. I do have like other spots that I can go. I have a pass to be able to fish on one of the nearby army bases. They have like 7, 8, 9 fishable lakes on there that you can put a boat or kayak in. I have those. A lot of people know about them, but not a lot of people want to have to go through the background check to be able to go fishing. Plus, it's you got to buy a separate fishing license. It's like $20 for the year, which for me is nothing. Access to all those lakes, and all you need is do is a background check. My background's clean, so I get that done and hop right on up in there. I'm sitting here. I'm trying to think. I think hunting wise, we lost a lot of the land because other hunting clubs were outbidding us, and things got switched over. Different owners and such, and they just stopped the hunting altogether. Sorry, Michael, I can't make your comment pop up on the screen, but I saw you say you missed fishing AP Hill. It's when you stayed in Bowling Green. Yeah, I live probably 20-25 minutes from there, so I go there not all the time, but every chance I can get. Um, yeah, they still let you fish back in there. Just got to do the background check and all that good stuff. I go there and I take the kids and fish from the bank a lot, especially I think it's called Beaver Dam Lake. It's you go through the gate and it's like one of the first lakes you get to, and it's like when I say it's wide open, like 95% of this lake you can fish like from the bank. You have access to. So I'll take the kids out there, take some bobber and worms, and let them fish with for bluegill, and I'll fish for bass and stuff. Yeah, AP. It's called Fort Walker, but I always refer to it as AP Hill because that's what I've known it to be for 38 years. I've been a lot that I've been knowing about it, but excuse me. And I tell you, the fishing over there is really good. Oh man, uh, that is also where I had my kayak accident too, unfortunately. But I've taken the boat out there plenty of times, caught fish, taken a friend or two back there as well, and we just had a good time, just made memories. Like I said, ever go back, go to the back where the beaver dam and trees are. It's the stock chocolate, but back by the trail is beautiful. 3 pound or hula pop from many years ago. No, I haven't been back there on the trail. I've seen it. I've tried to get back there with my kayak, but lily pads and all that stuff is kind of hard to paddle through. But I might have to venture around back there one of these days. I like that lake and upper and lower Travis. Let's see. There's a Bowie's Pond on there. I used to be able to access that from the main road, but I think they put up a guardrail for a while and then they took the guardrail up, but they did something to the bank where it's hard to launch boats, so you gotta figure out how to get in on the other side. And if I remember right, there's something sunken down where the ramp is, so you can't back too far down into there. But I'd have to go check it out again. Nixon, I think they would let you still fish there if you talk to them. That's I want to. If I can figure out where he, I don't know where he lives at, but if I can catch him in their hardware store, I would like to talk to him. I'm sure he would like let a couple people fish as long as we weren't blabbing our mouth about it. But we'll have to see about that. I know I ran into him once before. Me and my dad were coming from out of there, and he had just put up a cable line with a lock on it. Um, and he was coming because we forgot what the code was. So he was coming down to like let us out, and he was telling us that he was thinking about closing it because people are just acting foolish. Michael said, "I walked the tall grass." Laugh out loud. Travis and Bowie, I caught 4 pound bass, 4 pound bowfin, and game check at the old station told me it was small. Yeah, golly, a 4 pound bowfin, and they said it was small. Now that makes me wonder because I know some of those lakes they like some of them are fed from the river, so I wonder if there's a snakehead in some of them. Because I think that's how a bowfin would get in there. He said Bowie was the bowfin. Okay. Her- No, it's not too terribly close to the river. I can't. I don't think. I have a picture floating around on my Facebook page somewhere of the fish I caught out there in Bowie. It was pretty big, like 4 pounds or so. Like I said, White's Lake got a big bowfin too. I lost a good one. I hooked into something at White's Lake. Me and my buddy, we had no idea what it was, but it definitely didn't fight like a bass, and it barely broke the surface before it shook the hook, and it just looked like it didn't look like a bass or catfish or anything. So I'm wondering if that's what it was. And I gotta text everybody that dinner is done. I'm gonna do it from my watch. Oh, okay. Okay. I thought they already did. Oh no. Trying to think of the other lakes. There's a couple other lakes on Fort Walker, AP Hill, whatever you want to call it. Um, I think it's like Fish Hook Lake. That's like 98% lily pads. There's another one that's like 100% lily pads, but I'm pretty sure there's some humongous fish in there. Uh, just don't fish it because I'm like, you got to fish it with a frog or something. But if you want a frog fish, I imagine that would be a fun place to do it. It's just I feel like every time I go, it seems like the water level in that lake is low. So the lily pad is like sitting like this high above the top of the water, so it's kind of hard to see a frog. There was this time where in one of my dad's little honey holes that he took me to. I'm sure almost everybody has a story like this. I had my little Zebco 202 or Zebco 33. We were out there fishing. I had me a little 1 ounce sinker on there, hook and worm. And I'm out there fishing. We're fishing for catfish and stuff. And all of a sudden the drag just starts singing on this rod because I had it leaned up like a against a twig with a little Y. So it was just sitting there, and I saw the rod bend over and the drag scream and all that stuff, and fought this fish, and then it ended up being we didn't have a scale, but my dad measured it. How long was it? Like 28 or 29 inches, striped bass. Man, and good thing too, it was in season at the time, so we got to keep it. But man, that was a nice little fond memory that I've had of little private honey hole. Like I said, yeah, I frogged the pads, buzzbait the openings, and wacky rig the pad face. A good way to go. I told myself I'm gonna start throwing rigs again. I got away from it because I was trying to get confidence in other baits, but I need to get back to what was catching fish for me. A wacky worm was one of them. Weightless Texas rig, all that and stuff. I went out last weekend to try to film a video of bass fishing and whatnot, and I didn't catch a thing, and then I was I threw lipless cranks, I threw a chatterbait and a buzzbait, and didn't catch anything on anything. I didn't throw any soft plastics, and I probably should have, and that's probably what I would have caught my fish on. But yeah, it sucked for me last time I was out there. That wasn't last weekend, or was it? Yeah, it was last weekend. I took off work on Monday because me and my buddy Darren were going to go went catfishing, but I left all my camera gear here at the house, and all the best I could do was take pictures, which I have some pictures here in the media assets here. We didn't do too shabby. Where are they? Here's a cooler full of them right there. Then that wasn't even everything we got. It was just out there at the Colonial Beach Pier. We took squid, uh, mullet, bloodworms. No, we didn't take shrimp. There was something else we took, and we fished with all of it. Didn't really catch much, but there was a older guy down there. He was fishing with minnows, believe it or not. And he was tearing catfish up. This older guy had one of those fishing wagons, and he had a cooler in that. And his cooler was getting kind of full. He had like 9 or 10 catfish just laid out on the pier. He gave us all those, and gave us the rest of the minnows he had, and we started using those things, cut them up into like chunks and fish from them. That's when we started tearing the catfish up. So we were like, man, but never would have thought minnows would have caught catfish like that. And like I said, I haven't been to the fishing pier in forever. The snow cone stand robs me when I go. I think that snow cone, they, believe it or not, they tore that little strip down in his condos there right now. Um, I think on the bottom level though, there's some shops still, but it's not the same anymore. That's something they like just recently done. It's still working on it, as a matter of fact. When we were out there fishing Monday, they were doing some stuff to the street. But I'm gonna start taking the boys down there because they like catfishing and stuff too. And if I remember right, I think the pier is 24 hours. So even if I wanted to go fishing tonight, which I probably won't because it just got finished raining, I don't have any boat or bait or anything like that. So um, wouldn't be able to go tonight anyway. But it'd be a good night to, or like at night would be a good time to go fishing. Michael said, "Oh wow, the boat not there no more either with the machine." Are you talking about the river boat? Yeah, that's still there. With all like the gambling machines and stuff in there. Yeah, that's still there. What else is not? Something else is not there. I can't remember what it is. But yeah, that's still down there. Sorry, it wasn't the work was kind of slow this week. I don't know why I'm tired. I think I've done more work here around the house, getting ready for this Nerf war, getting the pool situated, canopies put up, the moon bounce, and all that stuff squared away. Than I've done at my regular 9 to 5 job all week. I know pretty soon, not this weekend coming up, but the next weekend is a big fella bash, and then the week after Memorial Day, the first week of June, I actually go to Kentucky, so I need to start looking up some places that I can go in Kentucky while I'm out there because I want to try to scratch that off for fishing at 50. I think that'll be a prime opportunity. It's a good time of year to try and catch some fish, so try to get after it. I think. Oh, sorry, y'all, my allergies are really, really messing with me. Yeah, I'm sitting. I'm back to that pond in AP Hill that used to stock trout. Um, I don't think it's there anymore. I don't. Well, I know they don't stock trout anymore. I don't know if it's like a licensing thing or they just stopped paying for it or what. But it'd be nice to have something kind of close to home to be able to fish for some trout instead of going all the way out to the mountains and going after it. I am kind of excited though. I lost one fishing spot. Um, they finally fixed. It's a pond almost right in the town of Montrose called Chandler's Mill. They finally fixed the dam there and got the lake back filled, and I think they stocked it recently. So in about a couple years, that should be a nice little place to be able to go fishing. That's somewhat close to home for me. Michael said he hasn't fished AP Hill in 10 years since he moved up there. Yeah, it's become one of my go tos, especially when I want to fish somewhere close, but I don't want to go to Guardy's Mill Pond like I normally do. I just wish it was a little bit easier to get boats in and out of a lot of the lakes. I know Beaver Dam is pretty easy, but Upper Travis or Lower Travis? Sorry, one of those lakes is kind of hard to get boats in. Sorry about that. Um, I know one of the last times I tried to put in Upper Travis, I think I took the Silverado. It was my old boat. I had all four tires in the water trying to get the boat back on the trailer. It was rough. Mike was asking if smoots still have gravel. I think so. I haven't fished smoots in a really, really long time. I need to go back there because there's some good fishing in there too, especially like bluegill and I think crappie too. Or is that White's Lake? It's one of those. I want to say there's one more lake that is accessible without having to go through the base, like through the gate. Yeah, Smoot, White, used to be buoys, but man, I'd have to look it up. So folks slay it from the road by the pipe. Yeah, whenever I want to bank fish, that's where I usually try and go. Is when I want to fish at Smoots, right there by that pipe. Yeah, yo, I don't know. I really don't want to let this fishing hole go. That's all I can think about is this fishing hole I lost. That pond was called Bowie's Pond too. That's the farmer's last name, so we all naturally named it after him. Um, don't want to lose that hole, but I don't know if I should chalk it up to like, yeah, this is just another hole that's gone, or if want to try and fight for it. I don't know, and I don't know which way I should approach it. If we should get um a bunch of people on it, or if I should just try and go by myself, or maybe take the boys. Like I said, does White still have the piers? I think they have one over by the road. And if I think last time I looked, I don't think it was in too good a shape. I don't think they really take care of the piers anymore because I know the handicap pier that was on Travis Lake um for a while it was kind of in shambles. Like I said, I do think the memory letters is a good idea, at least out of appreciation. I think I do want to at least do that. Nick says go solo. Yeah, I think maybe you start out going solo um, and see what happens. I remember when I posted it on Facebook, a lot of people are like, "What?" Like they couldn't believe it. Even when I told Gavin, he was like, "What?" When I told you about the crappy pond, he's over there sitting at the kitchen table. Huh? Oh, Michael, I still do have your fishing pictures from when you went out to why can't I think of the name of the pond, the lake? Um, Mooney. Yeah, Lake Mooney. I'll show them to you guys today because he went out there and slayed them. I've yet to catch a fish there. I see them like the last couple times I went out there. I can see them, but just can't get one on the hook. That bass right there has some really nice color to it. I've been meaning to try to get back out there and go take my boat and fish fish for a day, see if I can catch anything. Got to get out there early. I think that's probably the key. You know what I've also contemplated doing, y'all? I have this big backpack tackle box, right? And I was sitting there looking at it, and I don't fish with like most of that stuff. I've been thinking about just getting rid of everything and starting over, and just taking a small little box and just tearing fish up like I used to. I think I've like tried so many baits, and I want to try to catch fish on these particular baits that I got away from what I know catches fish. I feel like if I do that, I'd probably be a little bit more successful. And also, the only reason I don't want to get rid of it is because when I do start going to new spots, I might have something that will work there, and I don't want to throw it away and be like, oh dang it. Nick said he loves the tackle backpack. Man, that was probably one of the best moves I could have made. Because even when I'm fishing on the boat, like sometimes I'll wear it, just to make sure I'm not tripping all over it. Like, especially in the boat. The kayak, though, it takes up a lot of room, so I try not to take that with me when I take the kayak. I have a separate waterproof box that I put like a bunch of baits in that I want to fish with that day. Ooh, Michael said there are reports that Sawguy fry are being stalked on the Mooney page. Walleye spawning pretty well all over the lake. Good. That's a lot closer than going to Lake Orange because I want to try to catch me a walleye this year, and I think the place that's closest to me that would have walleye would be Lake Orange, but Lake Mooney's a lot closer. I'm wondering if last time I went to Gardy's Mill Pond, they were out there doing the electrofishing, doing a study. So I'm wondering if they're about to stock that too. But the way they were pulling in fish, and they were pulling in like all sorts of like threes, and I would probably say a bunch of threes. I saw maybe one or two fours get pulled in. A couple 1-2 pounders there as well. So it seemed like it was a healthy fishery. They weren't biting on anything I was throwing that day, apparently. Let's see. Piper says, I never caught one at Orange, never targeted them, but never hooked one either. Brittle, I tried, but no luck. I can't catch anything there. I was going to try Burke, but Mooney being home, I love it. Yeah, um, I heard Burke's kind of hard to fish. Uh, what's Me and Darren went out to Brittle once. He caught a couple bass there. I didn't catch anything, but I know they have snakehead in there as well. And then we went to the way back, and it started getting shallow, and lily pads and stuff was like starting to be all over the place. And we saw what we thought was a snakehead. It looked like it was chasing around a bunch of bait fish. It was like an extremely dark colored fish that was just thrashing about. And I was like, man, I don't think that's a bass. Now that I got this Jeep in good working order, I'm probably going to start doing some traveling and hitting some of these lakes that I don't know normally fish. I, I I've stayed away from Burt because I heard of how hard it is to fish. Um, where else is I heard it's difficult. I've took a charter out of Lake Anna. Lake Anna is huge. I don't know if I'd want to go in there with the boat I have, not having a gas motor. But where else? The Briary is pretty good. Um, caught plenty of fish out there the few times I went. There's another lake around Sandy River Reservoir. I've been wanting to go there as well. Heard the crappie fishing is good there. Like I said, it makes six walleye, the biggest 17-inch. They're growing. My first last year it was deep, 14 foot. This year, five on the jerk bait. Nice. I hooked into a walleye. I think I was fishing for bass, and I was fishing. I was in the deep, but I was able to. Well, I forgot what I had on. It had to have been like a deep diving crankbait, and I was throwing it towards the bank as far as I could and reeling it back deep, and I hooked into one, but it shook it. It feels so different not having a cigar to smoke on these lives. Sometimes when it rains or something like this, I usually cancel the live because I can't sit outside. But I'm trying to get back. Try to make it a habit to try to go live every Friday night, and I didn't want to cancel again, so I decided to do it indoors. So I'm just clearing my notifications. Had a lot of them. Yeah, I'm feeling a little fidgety from not having being able to keep my hands busy. Sitting there holding a cigar usually keeps my hands pretty still. Then when we were right before we moved in, before we got all the furniture and stuff in here, we were painting. I smoked a cigar while we were doing that. Um, but I haven't smoked inside the house since. I think if I had all leather furniture, maybe. But I don't even know what the material is. It's definitely a comfy couch though. I'm sitting in a leather chair here, but all my other couches are like fabric of some sort, and I don't want that smell to get in there and hold. I was telling a coworker of mine about how we lost the private hole, and he asked me like if I came into some money and I bought the land and built a private pond, would I let people fish on it? Um, and I had to think about it for a minute, but I think I would. Um, and then like kind of like I wouldn't say give it community access per se because there's got to be some sort of kind of like control. Because if you just let everybody fish it, then it'll just be like a public place, and it'll get all junked out and stuff, and I'll get tired of cleaning it. But I do feel where the farmer's coming from about closing it with all the vandalism and stuff. But I definitely would start out at least letting people fish it. Um, I don't know if I would charge, but I would have everybody have like a written note. Um, Yeah, 'cause, speaking of written note, there was one place out in Orange where I would go pick up Isaiah. I would fish every other weekend there. Walked up to I don't know what they did there, but it was like a building on the property. People worked in there, and you can go in there and ask for permission to fish, and they actually had a pre-printed out sheet, and they just fill out your name and information and stuff on there. And it's pretty much like a note saying you have permission to fish there. But I went there one day and they had all kind of signs up and fences and everything, so we lost that spot. And that was a good spot too. That was another one of those places where you had access to 95% of the pond, like on three and a half sides. The only place you didn't have is where the water fed in. It was like a bunch of trees and it was super soft over there. But man, we used to go there and tear fish up all the time. I got a couple of videos of me fishing there too. Um, I might make some shorts of rest in peace to like all the private fishing ponds. I gotta go find the clips and stuff. I know it's kind of late, but it looks like dinner is done, so I'll probably end the live here in a little bit. Plus, I don't want to stay up too terribly late. I got to referee this Nerf war that's going on tomorrow. Plus, I'm smoking ribs and I got to cook hot dogs and hamburgers and stuff. So it's going to be a pretty good time. Um, I'm super stoked. He's been waiting on this all week long. But before I do get off of here, I just want to say that if you do have a nice little private fishing hole, make sure you guys are taking care of it. Something I had started doing was taking like a you don't have to take a big giant trash bag unless it's a pretty trashy place. But I would go into some places with like just like a little food line bag or something like that, and I'll just pick up trash and take it out with me. Clean up all your fishing line and stuff. Make sure you clean up behind yourself because you don't want to roll up to this fishing hole one day and see a chain across it saying no trespassing, no hunting, no fishing. Especially if you been fishing it for a long time and you got all sorts of memories and stuff. But on that note, I think I am going to go ahead and end this live here. I do appreciate you guys for joining me tonight. Listen to me complain about losing another fishing hole. But I will see you guys in the next live. I'll probably record this Nerf War tomorrow and post it on my other channel so you guys have that to look forward to. And I'll get out here and do some more fishing. And remember to bring the camera gear this time. But I want to wish you all guys a very good night and enjoy the rest of your weekends. And make sure you go visit your mom on Mother's Day. That's Sunday. So I already got my mom taken care of. Got her gifts and everything. But y'all make sure y'all go see y'all mom this weekend. Y'all have a good one.